Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to YogurtMLive. I am streaming again, this time on YouTube instead of Twitch for this one. Nice to have you around here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make a rather concerted effort to stream a bit more here on YouTube, especially since, like, I've just been having a little bit of issues streaming on Twitch. I don't know if it's like a throttling thing or whatnot, but usually around this time of the day when I do my streams on Twitch, there's the off chance that starts to suffer delays and dropped frames and such. But again, it is strictly an issue that is only with Twitch. It is not an issue at all with YouTube, as you can tell here. Anyways, here is my latest comic. I actually published this one not too long ago on Sunday. So far we're going into this month pretty strong, quite early, and that's good. Thinking of getting quite a few comics done this week. Kinda leaves the rest of the month open for me to work on other projects and illustrations and such. It'll free up some time for me, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started on today's comic. I will actually be pulling out an old comic for this one. Let me try to find this. This would have been quite a ways back. It's a really old comic, this one. This one is called... This one. Good here. Okay, so this is from March 2015. Yeah, so this is kind of old. We're talking about a comic that is very easily 10 years old here. 2015, March. I think the style back then has changed a little, quite dramatically. It doesn't quite look the same, but in some ways it actually has retained, like my artwork has retained the same aesthetic. Oh, I guess that was back when I didn't put the text in the actual file itself, so let's see, where is the picture? I guess it'll have to be this. "2015 was 10 years ago, yes. Yeah, so it is a 10-year-old comic, but this is, like, this would have also taken place 10 years ago in the comics themselves. So yeah. It's very similar to the comic that I just published, actually, where Barry is brushing Yogurt's hair and Yogurt is complaining about it. And that's actually what I was drawing inspiration from. I was looking back at that chapter thinking, like, okay, maybe I can kind of bring back some of these elements here, and so that the chapters sort of run in parallel. But it's like a slightly different perspective this time around. Because Yogurt's going to be, as you'll see here in the comic, is that she'll be giving us like the same reason why she kept her hair short as she does when she wants to keep it long. And it's going to be pretty deliberate. Thinking about how this should work. Maybe I should draw... Actually, I'll continue to draw Barry brushing her hair. And I'll just have to find a way to, like, paint her hair strands instead. I think it'll be better that way. Rather than using the, like, lines. I'll still put some lines, but yeah. Yeah, like, I'll put some lines, but then I'll sort of paint the rest of the details in instead. Maybe you should just keep it all in one layer. I don't know why I try to break it up there. It'd just be easier if it's just in one layer. Yeah, see, this part back here, I think I can get away with just painting it in instead of drawing lines. I'll draw the lines in just so I know where her hair is. But yeah, all of this, I think I can just paint in. It's just this part here I can have as it's like I can draw some lines there. Well, even this part here, the hairbrush, I think I want to paint this. Yeah, I don't know why streaming to Twitch has been rather troublesome. Because I do remember that I've never had problems like that before. It wasn't until like maybe, I mean, this would have started maybe a couple of months ago, back in October. And then it's been happening sort of intermittently, like every once in a while or so. But now it's just been happening quite regularly to the point where it's like I can predict that if I were to stream there right now, it would have that same issue. So again, it's like something that only seems to be on Twitch. It's not a problem here on YouTube. So I wonder if it's just something that is on Twitch's end that's making that a problem. Because nothing else has changed on my end for that. I can probably still stream on Twitch, but I think I might have to be a little choosy with what times I can stream on Twitch. I'm thinking like if I were to stream on Twitch during like the dead hours or so, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I think for this panel, I will draw sort of like close-up of Yogurt. And she'll be like holding her hair, I think. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Blue Archive is on Steam now. Well, not yet. It's going to be coming out here pretty soon. It is available to wishlist. Oh yes, hello there. Actually looking forward to that because I do want to sit down and actually play the story. I've been kind of putting off the story on it on mobile because I don't really like reading stuff on my phone. Reading VNs on my phone, so... So yeah, that's something I'm kind of looking forward to. It is a gacha game, so... I'll probably just like avoid much of the gacha stuff as much as I can, since I just kind of only really want to play the story stuff. And maybe like get my characters that I like. Now, if I recall correctly, YouTube lets me stream at a much higher bitrate. Although right now I am not streaming at a very high bitrate. I don't know how crunchy it looks like on your end. But wait, I can just go check myself, see how it looks like. Where's my stream? Oh, it's just fine actually. It's not bad. Yeah. what if I change it to this? Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's doable. Man, have I said how many times I really like using this brush? Oh, not that brush. That's my glasses. This brush. I really like it. Probably one of my favorite ones to work with. And it's like fully custom. It's mine. Like, it's not something I like download or anything. It's just like a modified version of the original brush that came with the program. So it's like a basic watercolor brush, but I applied like my own sort of stuff to it. It's one of those things where I don't think anybody's really gonna notice, but like, for me, who's using it a lot, like, it feels really nice to sketch with. Okay, so that panel I think is good. I don't know if I'm yeah, I think that's a good enough panel. And add some text here. I'm actually gonna take a short break here pretty soon. I gotta go look for my cat somewhere. They're somewhere in the backyard here. But first, let me just write down the text for this panel. I'm just gonna go check for the cat. I will be back shortly. Hey, I cannot find him. He's a sneaky guy. chat again. New pen is great, yes. Was that the last thing you heard? That was a while ago. Oh yeah, I went to go check to... Well, I went to go looking for my cat. And I can't find him, so... Yeah, why is this not going? There.
is the task of all good teachers. All good, really gifted and great teachers are people who never have to resort to artificial methods of imposing discipline. They need no proctors. They need no punishments. They need no bribes. Because the good teacher is the person who makes the work of learning the discipline so completely fascinating that the student is embroiled. Because remember this principle: if your student does not learn to love discipline, he will never be any good at what you're teaching.
Alright, I think I am done the rough sketch for this one. This one is also not as bad as the first comic for the month. There's not a lot of backgrounds here, but there's definitely a lot more like yogurt hair. This like the whole first panel is like just yogurt's hair. And a little bit of Barry's hands, but yeah. So if you actually go back to the comics that this chapter will be referencing, which would be March 2015, it does kind of show that Barry was taught by Yogurt's mom how to brush Yogurt's hair, and so that's why like you kind of see Barry being the one brushing Yogurt's hair a lot, because he also brushes his mom's hair as well. So it's like something where, like, you think Yogurt would be the one to brush her own hair, but no, she quite frequently gets Barry to do it for her. It's like one of their little shared moments together kind of thing. It's one of like their little quirks, because it's not something, I don't think it's something you typically see between couples, but Yogurt and Barry, he does brush her hair. This one's gonna be weird, because, like, I'm painting most of it, I think. Yes, good morning. Nice to have you here. Okay, yeah, that'll do for the first panel there. What panel am I working on today? I am working on comic number, what's this, 1815. I recall. Let me just double check. I think it's 1815. Yes, 1815. Oh, we skipped the middle panel. Oh, that's okay. I think it made his eyes a little big there. Let me make it smaller. Cat. It's cat. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for the panel. Oh, this one's already done, so it's just the last one now. So there's this VTuber I'm following. They've been trying to get their model made for the last couple of months here, but they simply just keep getting the short end of the stick, so to speak. Like their model was not only late, but they don't seem to be quite happy with certain aspects of the model too. Like the model has like kind of looks like another existing VTuber done by the same artist. So they're thinking that maybe they used parts of like they recycled parts of the other VTuber model for this one. Either way, they feel like they're kind of being a little bit cheated out of it, which kind of does bring up the topic of like artists. They reused another VTuber's model, like certain aspects of it, and the model was also done by the same artist, so like it's the artist's discretion for using like parts from another model that they've previously worked on. Like I think certain parts can be recycled, but then there are other parts that I don't think should be recycled simply because it's like I mean, you kind of don't want to give the you kind of don't want to give the impression that you're just churning out slop when you're doing that, and I think when you're reusing parts from older models in your newer models, it does kind of feel like you're churning out slop a little bit. Live 2D is crazy muddy. It's not too bad. I don't use Live 2D. I don't make any of my models or anything with Live 2D. Although when I produce models, I put them in a file that is ready for a rigger to rig up and animate. Although if you are looking for an alternative, there's some. Hold on, let me see. I was actually going to consider this one myself if I ever wanted to make a model for just for myself. And like, if you're an artist and you want to do it for your own personal channel, then yeah, it's something you can look into. Let me see if I can find it. Inochi 2D. I think that's one. Although currently, I believe Inochi 2D is like there's definitely still some work to do. I know one of the developers is still working on it, and yeah, it's actually quite versatile. I saw someone like make a model with Inochi 2D, and it's I don't see why not. It works. It works pretty well. Although if you ask me, I think a 3D model is also a very good choice. Maybe even the better choice, depending on what you're looking for. I have a 3D model myself, and I don't use it because like it's kind of heavy, as in like it does require a little bit more processing power to work. The one I'm using right now, it's just like a talking puppet. It's easy, runs fast, does the job. It'll be a new project to make a 3D one. Yeah. I say when it comes to doing live 2D models, I actually do think it's not that difficult. It's only time consuming because the majority of your work will be layer organization and such. And depending on how many, I guess it sort of depends what you want your 2D model to be and to be rigged. Like there's certain requirements if you want to like rig a certain part to be morphed and animated a certain way. Like, okay, yeah, well, now you're gonna have to make more parts to allow this to happen. But I think the magic is the rigger doing the work. Hello. Yes, welcome. I've dabbled in the animation space myself a little bit, so I do know what it's like to rig up a model. In fact, like the little yogurt that you see here, the left corner of the screen, that's something that I've put together. And I've also put together the big yogurt. Oh, hold on, where is she? Here, don't hope this doesn't crash the stream. So I've made this yogurt too, which I use as like my starting soon screen and my stream end screen. So yeah, like animating something like this is not as difficult as it seems, and like it's pretty good. I like, yeah. What's this one? Is this a slower version? Actually, no, I won't turn that on. Yeah. Yeah, low-key is just a lot of individual moving parts, and it's just a little time-consuming when you want to animate something like, even just like the looping animation of yogurt here. That took me probably like a good afternoon and an evening to do, and then there's like some fine-tuning after the fact, but still, like that's time-consuming, and it's only like a couple seconds of animation. Not hard, just time-consuming. There was a time I thought about doing like the rigging as well for some models, but no, I kind of realized like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, rigging takes up a lot of time, and I'd rather put that time towards coming up with like more art. Rigging could be a good side hustle. It could be. But I don't really need another side hustle. I'm kind of good with what I have. Who's that? one of the cats decided to come in and say hi. Hello, cat. Yeah, they were just like right at the door, and then they were like meowing really loudly. And I think he just wanted to check on me, making sure I'm still here. Like, I'm still here. He was doing pretty good. He was just taking a nap earlier last time I saw him, when I went upstairs to go check on them. But I guess he wanted to come down and check on me. One of the cats is still missing, though. I don't know where he is. I think he's like out in the bush, maybe taking a nap. There's just like one spot that he likes to nap behind. Maybe he's still there. Alright, I think that's the line art. Looking good. Okay, let's go and start the coloring. see, streams at 1 hour and 18 minutes. Not too bad. Sometimes what I like to do is I just draw another thumbnail next to it, but like from a slightly different angle or slightly different composition. You know, I can choose from like 3 or 4, maybe even more thumbnails. I mean, I kind of do that too. When I have an illustration I want to work on, I have like a handful of thumbnails that I like quickly put together and then just decide which one I want to work on. I think colors can always come later. I think depending on the illustration, I do think because you see, when I make my thumbnails, I focus more on just like the value of things. So they're not exactly black and white because I use this color as well, you're looking at it. I use this color, and then I only use this color, so it's just like different values of this color to make thumbnails. So it's just focusing on the light and the dark parts for the most part. Yeah. It'll work. Could be one of those things where it's like, in the act of doing, you know. It's one of those things you trust the process. picture in picture. I don't use that feature enough. I know it's there. Mostly because, like, I just put the picture, or not picture, I just put the window off to the side, so yeah. Oh, wait, is that the cat? Hold on, let me go check. Okay. I don't know where he is. You know what? Maybe I'll actually paint this one too. It does kind of feel weird if it's like switching a little bit. Yeah, this comic looks a little more detailed than the usual ones. I think it's mostly because like I'm painting Yogurt's hair instead. And debating whether I should carry that forward for my comics in general. I mean, I don't really do it as often. Yeah, it just so happens that this comic has more hair detail. Oh, wait, now I remember. Yeah, back in April, when I did the silent comic chapter, yeah, I was doing the same thing. I wasn't using the lasso tool for painting the hair. I was actually just brushing the hair in. So it's not the first time. I could actually adopt that more. Because I know I kind of kept the silent comic chapters sort of like I deliberately kind of did them a little bit differently than how I normally do. Who's that? Huh. Not sure what one of the cats wanted. They came to the door, and I think they wanted something. Because they were meowing at me. But I think he just wanted food, but there was already food there. Maybe he wants... You know, I did actually just watch him eat the food. So, like, he meowed, and then he led me to the food, and then he ate the food, and I just sat there and... Well, I stood there and watched him eat it. Okay. Just need to add some backgrounds here. It should be good. Switch 2 in 2 days. I still probably will not pick up the Switch 2. Maybe not like immediately. I wanna wait until there is a good chunk of games that I can play on it that aren't like, you know, like Switch 1 games. Also, I do not know how I feel about those physical games that aren't actually physical games, but are more like a glorified digital code. So, because like I heard there were going to be like some games that are going to be releasing in that format instead of like an actual physical game. Because I do like collect my Switch games like physically, so it's just a lot easier that way. And I like if I want to if I want to sell it to a friend or something, I can do that. Actually, that's a fair reasoning. Yeah, if you were just planning on getting the Switch 2 just to play the Switch 1 games at better frame rates and stuff. Like Breath of the Wild, I think would be really nice to play. You know, like 60 FPS and stuff. I mean, you can kind of achieve that through an emulator now, but to do it... Oh, wait, no. Isn't the Switch 2 emulating Switch 1 games? Is that... Like, I think that's what's going on here. I remember reading that up, that the Switch 2 does not actually run Switch 1 games natively, but rather emulated. Well, let me look this up here. Switch 1 games emulated on the Switch 2. The Switch 2 does not run Switch 1 games natively. Okay. So there's probably like some, yeah, so it has an emulator layer. On the bright side, if you have a first party, like pretty much all first party Switch 1 games will play just fine on the Switch 2. But if you have like third party titles, they may or may not run. Might have to wait for the compatibility list. 3DS game remaster on a keycard. Okay, coloring is done. I just gotta put the text on top of this. It's not too bad. I did take a few little breaks here throughout the stream to look after my cats, but I think for the most part, comic came together here pretty quickly. I am sitting at 2 hours. Yeah, roughly 2 hours. 2 hours and 8 minutes. I do like how this comic turned out, though. It's very pretty. There's a lot more detail in the hair than usual. A different way of coloring things compared to my usual. It's actually similar to how I did the watercolor. Oh, not watercolor. The silent chapters. The one in April. Remember. Wait, let me double check this. I just want to make sure that I did not already use this. Oh, so I took my brother's old keyboard. Okay, well, it wasn't actually his, because I think what happened was he ordered a keyboard. It's like a modular one with like hot swappable switches and stuff. But then he said there was something wrong with it, and he tried to ask for like an exchange or a return. And what they ended up doing was they sent another keyboard. Okay, so they sent another keyboard, and it turns out there was nothing wrong with the first keyboard to begin with. So he ended up getting two of the same keyboards, and I just end up taking one of them. Yeah, and that keyboard was like sitting in storage for a very long time, probably like the last 5 years or so. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, so I think it was like a 2020 thing. And then I only just recently decided to rebuild it, like pop in some switches in it and give it some keycaps. Just use it. I think the reason why I don't really use this keyboard is because it's like a full-size keyboard. And it's been a while since I've actually used a full-size keyboard on my desktop here. don't know if I should give him a bubble. Okay, yeah, I'll give him a bubble. Because, like, he's only sort of, coming there. Okay, let's have a read here. I think I am done. Well, there is another reason, you see. Mama always kept her hair long. That's something I remember fondly of her. Don't you remember too? Hmm. You also said the same thing back when you had short hair. Alright, I think I am done this comic. This is comic number 1815. Let me just go ahead and save this. So far, I am starting this month quite strongly, if I do say so. It is only the 3rd of June, and I'm already on the second comic here. So it's starting pretty strong. No, I like it when the comics chapter starts kind of strong into the month. Because as the month sort of goes on, it gives me a little bit of leeway with scheduling. Like, oh yeah, I can work on the comic here, I can work on the comic there, I can take a day off here, I could work on something else on this day. $15. Oops. I will upload the comic here shortly, and I will update the video description with the link. Yeah, I figured that here on YouTube you can do that live. And you could click the link there. I mean, I'll also post the link in chat. Alright. I think it's already up. Just gotta clear the cache on my site and I can share the link. Alright, everybody. Here is the latest comic. You can go ahead and have a read there. I've also updated the video description. There we go. Okay, let me just finish uploading this to my Twitter and everything. Oh. I really like these switches on this keyboard. The funny thing is that it's not a very expensive switch. It's like kind of like a dirt cheap switch. It's these Kale Blacks. They're very similar to my my very, very old keyboard that I had that had cherry blacks in it. It's funny because you don't see a lot of keyboards with those switches anymore. I think people think they're too heavy of a switch, but I actually really like them a lot. I kind of miss it actually. Okay, so that one is up. Alright, so the comic is up on my Twitter now. I'll share the link here shortly. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Here's the Twitter link, and I'll also share... let's share the Tumblr link. Here you go. Oh, yes, hello. Yes, thank you. Good work. Tumblr. Yes, Tumblr. What's this? Oh, okay. Alright, I think with that, everything is all done. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, I don't really have much to do right here for the rest of the evening. I'm actually just gonna wrap up and probably head off to bed here soon. I do feel like doing another stream later this week. I'd have another comic that I'd like to work on Thursday, so you could probably join me on Thursday for that one. And if time permits, I might actually do something else over the weekend. I can do a stream. I could stream the weekend one on Twitch. Again, depending on the time of it. I could also just like stream it here, just so I don't have to worry about like the frames dropping and stuff. It's always a bit of a gamble, right? Like, I don't want to stream on Twitch only for it to like start dropping frames like halfway through my stream. It's a bit of a tough one because like I do like streaming on Twitch as well. But I've been a little bit scared to stream on there because of the frame rate issues, the frame issues. I mean, it's not terrible streaming here. It's consistent and it's not dropping frames. So Amazon's fault. Yeah. See, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I keep thinking it's like something on my end. Like, so I'm like fiddling around with all these settings and stuff, but in the end, it's not like any of my settings are wrong or so, like everything's fine. But it seems like maybe YouTube just has the better infrastructure for that, but yeah. Because I do prefer Twitch for certain reasons, mostly because I do think it's a little easier to stream music over there than it is over here. But oh, that's fine. Oh, right. And then the whole like if I wanted to do something else, like play a game or something. I don't know if I can do that here. Can I do that here? Hold on. Let me check. Can I change category? Oh, I can. Okay. Can I change it live? Like, say... gaming. Like, if I wanted to do gaming right now, can I do that? Like, say, change a title plus gaming. Save. Okay, well, now it's gaming. Actually, since I already changed the category there, maybe I should play a game? Kinda late. No, I'm not gonna play a game. I'll change it back to education. Drawing streams are education, would you say? I would think they are. You join in, you watch someone draw. You could learn a thing or two, maybe. Yeah, I don't know how much what you learned was art, though. Let's see, what are new games here? Tonin? Fantasy Life. Oh yeah, Fantasy Life. I got that a while ago, but I haven't really touched it yet, and it was something I was going to look into, because it looked like Animal Crossing, sort of crossed with Zelda-ish. But it's like a survival craft in that sort of style. I might look at that eventually, but it is in my library. I haven't really played it much. I played like half an hour of it and then I went to bed. Okay, I think that's it. Let me go ahead and get ready to end the stream here. If you haven't read the comic yet, it is, I pinned it there, but it's also in the video description too. You can check it there too. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this evening on YouTube, of all places. Yes. As you might have heard before, like, I'm going to be streaming a little bit more on YouTube, especially during this time, I think. Mostly because I think I want to avoid the peak hours that are on Twitch, since I believe that's been causing some issues with my like dropped frames and stuff. So yeah, I will be making an effort to stream more here on YouTube to avoid that. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. You guys have a good night or good day, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.